We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles McKenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Arr, fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Talk about a bombshell. This week, the superhero movie world really threw us for a loop.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
This week, we're going to dive deep into the just absolutely massive cast announcement for Marvel Studios' Avengers Doomsday.
Huge news.
Coming May 1st, 2026. Mark your calendars.
Definitely mark your calendars.
All right, so for you, the listener, what we're going to do today is break down all the really juicy stuff that came out of this announcement, like all the shopping returns, who is debuting in the MCU, and what it all means for, of course, the future of the MCU.
Right, big picture stuff.
We've got the New York Post article that breaks down the entire announced cast, and of course, we've corroborated this with some other sources that confirm this news and added a little bit of extra context as well.
A little behind-the-scenes stuff, always good.
So without further ado, let's just get right into it.
All right, so taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture here, you can't deny that Avengers Doomsday is meant to be this huge cinematic event.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just another movie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. They've got Joe and Anthony Russo, the directors of Infinity War and Endgame, coming back to direct this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be massive.
Right. I mean, those were two of the biggest movies of all time, so that already sets the bar pretty high for what they're going to do with Doomsday. And on top of that, they're also following this up with Avengers Secret Wars, which is coming out May 7th, 2027.
Yeah, that's right around the corner.
So we've got these two huge Avengers films back to back. They're not messing around. We are definitely headed into a new era for the MCU. But I think we need to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, we got to talk about it.
The biggest surprise of this whole announcement, the return of Robert Downey Jr.
I was floored when I saw that.
Right. Like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
Tony Stark died a hero in Endgame.
I mean, it was such a perfect ending to his character arc.
Such a great ending.
It's hard to imagine topping that.
It really is.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh, tell me. He's not coming back as Iron Man.
What?
They're bringing him back as Victor Von Doom.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Doom himself.
That's insane.
I know. Can you imagine Robert Downey Jr., the guy who played Iron Man for over a decade, now playing one of Marvel's most iconic villains?
Oh man, my mind is blown.
I know. This is a huge gamble for Marvel. It's a complete 180 from what we're used to.
It really is.
But it could pay off big time. Imagine the storylines they could explore with this, the drama, the conflict. Like, how will the other Avengers react to seeing Tony Stark, but as a villain this time?
Yeah, wow.
What will his Dr. Doom be like? You know, will he bring that same charisma and humor to the role, or will he be something completely different?
I need to see this, like right now.
Me too. This is a huge risk,
Yeah.
but it has the potential to be absolutely incredible.
All right, so that's one huge surprise, but there's another big thing we need to talk about.
What's that?
The X-Men.
Oh, yeah. The mutants are finally coming home.
This is something that fans have been waiting for years.
Yeah, ever since Disney acquired 20th Century Fox, people have been wondering when the X-Men would finally join the MCU. And it looks like that's happening in a big way with Doomsday.
Yeah, and they're not holding back.
Nope. We're getting a whole bunch of familiar faces from the original X-Men movies. Patrick Stewart is back as Professor X.
He was so good as Professor X in Multiverse of Madness.
I know, right? That was just a taste of what's to come. And get this, Ian McKellen is coming back as Magneto.
No way.
Yes way.
Wow.
Those two together again is going to be amazing. Their on-screen dynamic is legendary.
I'm going to be like poetry in motion.
Exactly. And to make things even more nostalgic, James Marsden is back as Cyclops. Kelsey Grammer is back as Beast.
I love Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
Alan Cumming is back as Nightcrawler. And Rebecca Romijn is back as Mystique.
Wow. It's like a full-on X-Men reunion.
It is.
They really went all out with this one.
Oh, and we can't forget about Channing Tatum finally getting his chance to shine as Gambit.
Oh, yeah. He was in Deadpool and Wolverine for like 5 minutes.
I know, right? And then the movie got shelved. But now he's finally getting a proper shot at the role.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. So what does this all mean? What does this huge influx of mutants mean for the MCU?
Well, I think it's safe to say that mutants are going to play a huge role in the future of the MCU.
Yeah, it's not just a cameo here and there anymore. It's full-on integration.
They're all in on the mutants, and I'm here for it.
Same here. This is going to open up so many storytelling possibilities.
All right, so you've got Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. We've got the X-Men.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. We've got a whole bunch of returning Avengers and MCU favorites.
Oh, yeah. They're bringing back basically everyone.
This cast list is insane.
I know. We've got Chris Hemsworth back as Thor.
He's been in, what, 9 Marvel movies now?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow. Anthony Mackie's back as Sam Wilson, Captain America, fresh off his Captain America movie. Tom Hiddleston is back as Loki, of course.
Gotta have Loki.
Paul Rudd is back as Ant-Man, Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes, Letitia Wright as Shuri, Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova.
She's everywhere these days, which is great.
And Tenoch Mejia is back as Namor.
That guy's intense. I'm excited to see more of him.
I know. I can't wait to see what they do with Namor going forward.
It's going to be interesting to see how all these character storylines continue to unfold.
And we're not even done yet. Wyatt Russell is back as John Walker, U.S. Agent, David Harbour as Red Guardian, Hannah John Kamen as Ghost.
Oh, those guys are going to be in Thunderbolts as well.
Yeah. And then we've got Simu Liu back as Shang-Chi, Winston Duke as M'Baku, and Danny Ramirez back as Joaquin Torres.
New Falcon on the block.
I know. This is a stacked cast.
It really is. I mean, think about it. Why would they need so many heroes for this movie? It's got to be something huge, right? I mean, the title of the movie is Doomsday.
It's got to be some kind of world-ending threat, I'm guessing.
Right. So we've got this massive group of heroes, a terrifying villain in Doctor Doom.
But that's not all.
Oh, there's more.
They're also bringing in the Fantastic Four.
Ah, yes. The first family of Marvel.
This is another huge moment for the MCU. It's the first time we're going to see them properly integrated into this universe.
I'm so excited for this. They've got a great cast lined up. Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards,
Love Pedro Pascal.
Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and Eben Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm.
Solid casting choices all around.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're going to see them debut in their own movie, Fantastic Four: First Steps, which is coming out July 25th, 2025.
That's smart.
Yeah, I think it's a good move to introduce them in their own movie before throwing them into the chaos of an Avengers film.
It's like an appetizer before the main course.
Yeah.
Gives us a chance to get to know them and see how they work as a team.
Absolutely. And we've got one more new addition to the MCU, Lewis Pullman as Bob, also known as Sentry.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, Sentry's a really powerful character with a lot of potential for interesting storylines, and it looks like he's going to be making his debut in Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
We are getting a lot of new faces in these upcoming movies.
We are. It's an exciting time to be an MCU fan. But with all these amazing additions, there are also a couple of notable absences from this cast list. The New York Post pointed out a couple of names that are missing, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, there were a couple of surprising omissions. The biggest one for me was Elizabeth Olsen. No Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, where is Wanda? She's become such a major player in the MCU. Her absence is definitely noticeable.
It is. And, she has said in interviews that she wants to take a break from these big ensemble movies.
Yeah, I remember that. She wants to focus on smaller, character-driven projects for a while.
Right, so maybe that's why she's not in Doomsday. But still, you'd think they would want her there, given how powerful she is.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah.
The other big name that's missing, at least in this initial announcement, is Tom Holland. No Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
It is, isn't it? Especially considering how popular he is. But I guess it's always possible they'll announce him later on.
Maybe they're saving him for a surprise cameo or something.
Maybe. Or maybe they just haven't figured out how to fit him into the story yet.
Yeah, it could be. So we've talked about the cast, but what about the writers?
Oh, yeah. The people behind the scenes.
Who's writing this massive story?
Well, according to our sources, the writers for Avengers, Doomsday, are Michael Waldron and Stephen McFeely.
Okay, so we've got the guy who wrote Loki and Multiverse of Madness.
That's Michael Waldron.
And the guy who co-wrote Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, Stephen McFeely.
Those are some heavy hitters.
Definitely. I mean, these guys have a lot of experience writing these big, epic, multi-character stories.
And they're going to need all that experience to handle this one.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge undertaking. They've got to balance all these different characters, all these different storylines, all these different tones.
It's going to be a challenge, but I have faith in them.
Me too.
Uh,
So, taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, what does this all mean for the MCU?
I think it's clear that they're making some big changes.
Yeah, they're shaking things up.
They're bringing in the X-Men, they're introducing the Fantastic Four, they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr., but as a villain.
It's like they're hitting the reset button in a way.
Yeah, it feels like a new era is beginning.
It does. And I think it's a smart move. The MCU has been going strong for over a decade now. It needs to evolve, it needs to grow, it needs to take risks.
Absolutely.
And that's what they're doing with Avengers, Doomsday. They're taking a big swing, and I'm excited to see where it lands.
Me too. I think this movie has the potential to be one of the biggest, most impactful MCU movies ever made.
I agree. All right, so let's do a quick recap for our listeners. We just went through all the biggest reveals from the Avengers Doomsday cast announcement.
We talked about the shocking return of Robert Downey Jr. as the iconic villain Dr. Doom.
We discussed the long-awaited integration of the X-Men into the MCU and the official debut of the Fantastic Four.
And we talked about all the returning MCU heroes that we know and love.
It's a lot to take in, but we've tried to break it down in a way that's easy to understand.
And hopefully you're as excited about this movie as we are.
Definitely.
All right, so before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder.
Okay, hit me.
With such a massive and diverse cast assembled, heroes and villains from across the entire Marvel universe, what kind of threat could possibly justify bringing all these characters together?
Yeah, what could be big enough to warrant a Doomsday-level event?
Think about it. What are the most compelling character interactions, potential conflicts, and unexpected alliances that you can imagine? Let your imagination run wild and maybe even share your theories with us.
We want to hear what you think.
Until next time, keep exploring.
See you then.
Bye.